This is a tutorial on how to embed two views within a single view controller. In the simulator here, there are two collection views. The top there in the black background, there's one object in the collection view and a second collection view with smaller objects, which are clickable and goes into a detailed view. Using the available controller objects in the storyboard, it's not quite clear how to accomplish this. So let's see how in a new project. So let's create a single view application. I will call it Splitscreen 4. Going through the storyboard, we'll add a navigation controller. Also add a table view controller for the detailed view. And now for the view controller, we will use the default view since it will allow other views. The table view controller will only allow table views. So let's add the collection views. I will change the background to black so it's a little easier to see. Now we'll add a second collection view. Resize the cell just so we know they are indeed different. And then I will link the action to go into the detailed view. Right click on collection view cell of the bottom cell and drag it to the detailed view. Select push. And now there's a connection. Let's give these navigation bars a title. I will call it Splitscreen View 4. I'll call this Detailed View. Just give that a name so Xcode doesn't complain. And give these a name. Call that top cell. Call that one bottom cell. Put some images in them. Now these collection views need to be, the collection view cells need to be linked to a class. So I will create them now. File, new file, new class. I'll call it top cell of the subclass collection view cell. And one more. then I can attach them to the class. Like so. Before I attach them to the controller, I need to differentiate which collection view is which, since I will be using one controller for both. So clicking on the bottom collection view, I will select tag 1 for the bottom collection view. Now this is the most important step, is to connect the data source and delegate to the view controller. This will allow it to call a function to build its cells within the view controller. Missing a step to link the images to the top cell and bottom cell classes. So before we add code to the view controller, let's link them up. We'll just call it image view for both. And now it's ready for code. I will import both classes. Okay. Just for the sake of brevity, I will copy and paste the code. So by attaching the data source and delegate earlier, it essentially tells it to call these two functions to build its collection view. And with the tag, it can differentiate which one is which. By default, the tag is 0. So this is, when the tag is 0, it's the top collection view and it will have 1 object. And if it's the bottom collection view, it will have 9 objects. Then depending on that, it will call the bottom function how many times to create cells. Let me import my images that I will use for the collection cell. My code here essentially goes through the images and appends the row number to a string for the image file name. And that is it. Let's run the simulator and it should work. These two functions, by the way, are automatically generated if you use a collection view controller. Now in the simulator, we have, which is exactly what we saw in the beginning. If I click, it goes into the detailed view controller. I hope you found this useful. Any questions, please leave them in the comments below.